Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions All-Stars 3.0 Dorina. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at Dorina, or as I like to call her, Dorina Dorito, who is part of the Mythic Legions All-Stars 3.0 wave, which, as I said in the Lord Dragul video yesterday, is pretty much wrapped up as far as shipping goes, and you should be receiving yours any day now if you haven't already. So, with that being said, as always, we're going to be taking a look at these guys as they come out the packaging for aesthetics and articulation. Although, I am breaking my rule a little bit because, obviously, this figure's wearing her cape and shoulder pauldrons, but I have pretty good reason for that. So, getting her over here. Really cool looking figure. She is part of the House of the Noble Bear, if I'm not mistaken, which is the same faction Adamon, the He-Man type character, is in. I'm not sure if they're siblings in the Mythic Legions universe, but it'd be kind of cool if they were. I do not have Adamon. I kind of listed off some of the figures I didn't have yet in the Dragul review yesterday, so I'm not going to do that again. But it would be nice to see some reissues of some of those. I mean, I know people are all, they're PowerCon exclusives, they shouldn't be re-released. Well, here's the thing, if you have them, you're going to think that way. If you don't, you're going to think those people are assholes for not wanting you to have the figure. So, yeah, the way I see it, I want everyone to have a fair chance to get any figure from this line, because if there's a figure you want in this line, chances are you're not the only one. So, like Scaphoid wasn't a popular figure, but I really want that figure now. It's a cool looking neon green skeleton. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. But she's really cool. It's an homage to She-Ra, of course. And yeah, really like her. I will say her cape is a pain in the ass. It's a straight pain in the ass to get on there. I had to use her sword to widen up the holes a bit. But once you do that, it does stay on there quite nicely. The shoulder pads do hinge up and down, so you can move them out of the way to move the arms. She's got this elf helmet. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be an elf or they just included this for the heck of it, but she does come with a better head sculpt, I think, for this figure anyways. We'll take a look at that during the accessories. But articulation on her, can't look up very far, just a little bit. You can look down side to side. Her neck is connected to the upper torso, so there's no extra swivel there. You do get a bit of tilt, not a lot though. Shoulders go out to the side pretty far, about a right angle, even with the shoulder pauldrons, so that's nice. You can go back down. Forward and back. Single hinge at the elbow. I will say the elbows on mine were really stiff out of the packaging. I used a little bit of heat to free those up, but they move fine now. Got a swivel in the elbow as well. Swivel in the gauntlet. Swivel in the wrist. Hinge in the wrist. Diaphragm joint that moves all around. Waist swivel. I will say the diaphragm joint is a little bit on the hindered side and a little bit floppy sometimes. If they could tighten that up just a little bit, it would be pretty good. At least on this body and Morgulith, who I used as a size comparison the other day. I noticed they were a little bit loose. Zarya, not so much. That was the other female I busted out this week. Then again, she has like 2 straps going across her chest, so that's probably helping it to stay in place. Hips, I will say they improved the hips though. Hips move forward and back, they're pretty tight. And then in and out is a little bit looser than before. It was reversed, so the in and out was really tight, but the forward and back was pretty loose. Now it's reversed. I kind of prefer that. You may feel a little bit different about that, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the better way to do it. She's got a thigh cut, single joint in the knee, swivel in the knee, swivel in the foot, which, again, they tightened up since Advent of Decay, where they first introduced this body style. This is a little bit tighter here than it was before. Before, they used to shift all around, and then the ankle hinges are a little bit looser. They're not as stiff. You didn't need to heat these up, at least not on mine. And then the rockers are the rockers. They're tight enough, but not too tight. I will say I don't recognize this torso. This is new to me. I'm not sure where it may have been first used. Maybe on one of the high elves or the Xylona's flock characters, maybe. I'm not sure. It doesn't look familiar to me, but again, I don't have a ton of the female characters. She also has peg holes on the bottom of the feet, so there's that. And then the more kind of plated skirt piece kind of feels like there's some fur in there too. But, yeah, looking at the back, she's got the port for the back adapters as well. So yeah, I cheated a bit. But you know what? That cape was, as I said, a pain in the ass to get on there. So I have no regrets. I know I broke my own rule, but you know what? It was for my benefit. So sue me. With that being said, let's move on to accessories. Moving on to the accessories, and Dorina Dorito, again as I like to call her, does come with a kind of meh spread, although if you remember during aesthetics and articulation, I did talk about the cape and the shoulder pads a bit. Because I refuse to take them off, because they are, well, a bitch to get on there. She does come with a few other things. So, of course, we'll get the most boring stuff out of the way first. We have the belt, the little loop on there. You can take the sword and shove it right in there. I know that was inappropriate, but I don't care. I will also say I'm not familiar with the sword at all. Is this new? Does not look familiar to me. It could very well come with one of the, what is it, Xylona's flock characters, the elves, but it's new to me, so that's cool. And then she comes with the same shield that came with... The only one I have with this is Faustia the Cleric, which might actually have been new for her. And the shield handle, oh, because screw those clips. I know I said that in the Lord Dragul review, but again, screw those clips. They're no bueno. But you can put that on there. Looks pretty good. She holds it well. And last but certainly not least, you know, other than the shoulder pads and cape, she does come with an alternate head, which is She-Ra to the T, as far as I'm concerned. The wings on this, if you remember the PowerCon version, they were glued on, but on this version they are not. You can pop them off. And this is reused from Freya of Deadhall, who I never actually looked at. I wanted to, but never got around to it. I may still do that, though. Money's tight, times are hard, waiting for pre-orders. Probably have time to look at some old Legions, if you guys are interested in that. But, yeah, really cool looking head sculpt. And unlike Lord Dragul, this one actually does peg on pretty well without any heat. So, with that out of the way, let's gear her up and take a look at some size comparisons. And before we take a look at some size comparisons, here is Dorina Dorito, as I like to call her, with her accoutrements. And you can see she looks really cool with that Freya head. I mean, that's She-Ra to the T. No pun intended. Shout out to T-Biz. She's got her shield there. She's got her red cape, which, again, I left on for this review because it was a pain in the ass to get on there, and I'm not taking it off. And then her sword, which, again, I'm not familiar with that sword. Anyone want to point out where that came from? Let me know. I've never seen it before. At least I don't believe I have a sword like that. in my Legions roster yet. So, yeah. And then, of course, the belt on her hip there. So, that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is Dorina, Dorito, next to a couple other Motu-inspired Mythic Legions figures. Got Perplor on the left and Creuna on the right, both of which were available in the Wasteland wave. Up next, here she is next to her wave mate, Lord Dragul, who I took a look at yesterday, on the left. And Freyja of Deadhall from the Advent of Decay on the right. So you can see where she gets her more She-Ra-inspired head sculpt from. And last, but certainly not least, got our two regulars, Brother Mandibulus on the left, and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn on the right. So with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while Dorina Dorito here is not my favorite figure of this wave by any means, she is still a really solid release. And that just goes without saying, because I think, in my personal opinion anyways, the Four Horsemen, along with McFarlane Toys, who actually hasn't made a lot of these, are making some of the best female figures on the action figure market nowadays. It definitely ain't Hasbro. Granted, we still haven't delved deep into G.I. Joe Classified series as far as female characters goes, but as far as I know, there's not a lot of female Joes, and what they're doing with Marvel Legends isn't anything too special, at least as far as I can tell anyways. Maybe they'll come out of left field and make something that'll blow everyone else out of the water, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Four Horsemen pretty much have it down pat as far as female figures go. I enjoy all of the ones I buy. I don't buy all of them, mind you, but I'm sure if I did, I would enjoy those as well. And this one is no exception, adding to the ranks of the House of the Noble Bear, my favorite kind of good guy faction, even though they're kind of neutral as far as the mythology goes. Get back into focus, you. I do like the variation on the Freyja of Deadhall head, which I may need to review that figure now that this figure here renewed my interest in that character. I also like the little shield she comes with, and the sword, which again I'm not familiar with, down to her gold gloves and boots. And awesome red cape, which again was a pain in the ass to put in. The holes were way too small. Had to widen them a bit with her sword. But once you do that, get them pegged on, it's a pretty snug fit. You don't really have to worry about it coming off. That, and I'm really stoked to finally have a quote-unquote She-Ra figure. The last guy was Hordak. We got She-Ra now. Because screw Mattel and their shitty distribution. You guys know what I'm talking about with that one, probably, but I digress. So, with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this one up. I pretty much said that about this entire wave. I might do one more video kind of summing things up and wrapping things up with this wave, because I gotta tell you, Mythic Legions are probably some of the most fun things I have reviewed on this channel, aside from DC Multiverse and the occasional super duper awesome fun Marvel Legends figure. But again, that's because I like what I like. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And remember, it's free, so do me a solid, help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Also, shout out to the Mythic Legions Cabal for all their support on the channel this week. They've been really supportive of these reviews, even reposting one of my pictures on their Instagram, so I truly do appreciate that a whole heck of a lot. I don't get that often, and it's nice to get it every so often, especially with a line like this where I feel like I could actually get a little bit of pull from, only because not a lot of people review these. I mean, they do, but I feel like the passion differs amongst different channels, but that could just be me. I'm pretty passionate about this line. I would go all in on every wave if I could. Couldn't do that last time. I think I didn't buy one figure, and then the Aether wave, which hopefully we'll be getting that soon. That'll be awesome. But I couldn't go all in on all of those because, damn, $500 is a hard pill to swallow. But I'm sure it's worth it. But with that being said, don't forget to leave a comment in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, what your favorite figure of the wave is. I'm curious, actually, whether or not my camera will stay in focus long enough to end this video. I'm curious what your guys' favorites are. Did you like the Motu figures? Did you like the reissues? Do you like the awesomeness that is the Stone Troll 2? Or did you not buy any of it so you could save money for another wave? I'd like to know. So remember, though, with that said, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'm going to let you guys go and quit rambling about these awesome figures. I'll catch you guys later.